Government's attack on Nigerian Defense Academy facility. Governor Ben Ayade received Best Humanitarian Governors Award from National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons. Plus, residents of Yobe State expressed joy over federal government approval to construct airport. Details in just a moment. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 7. I am Erika Ivi. Now in the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari says the attack launched on the facility of the Nigerian Defense Academy, rather than throwing a dampener into the morale of the armed forces, as it is intended to, will buoy their determination to make a decisive end of criminality in the country. The president notes that the attack, which leads to loss of lives, came at a time that the military had put insurgents, bandits, kidnappers, and other types of criminals on the retreat, stressing that the heinous action will accelerate the total uprooting of evil in the polity, which members of the armed forces are solidly resolved to accomplish in the shortest possible time. Commiserating with the families of those who lost their loved ones and praying God to comfort them, President Buhari vowed that the deceased will not die in vain, as these degenerate acts would have consequences that will eventually clean the country of vermin. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, thanks all Nigerians who value an effort of the military and urge those playing hateful politics with the dastardly act to desist, and rather support and encourage those who are in the vanguard of the battle against wickedness in the land. And moving on, training and welfare of army personnel remains top priority of the federal government, so as to boost their morale to function optimally in line with present-day realities. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, re-emphasized this while addressing officers and men of 4 Brigades Nigerian Army, Benin City, when he met with them on a familiarization tour on army formations. Good luck, Enaini reports.
Providing effective combat service support for the Nigerian Army to enable it accomplish assigned missions in a joint environment has been the desire of the Chief of Army Staff. He is meeting with these officers to explain why this must be achieved. He says the vision of Mr. President is to reposition the Army, assuring them of good days ahead.
I have seen things for myself. I appreciate what they are doing. I've encouraged them to even put in more to achieve our mandate. They are doing well. They are doing their best, and we are providing also all necessary guidance and support.
At the Nigerian Army School of Supply and Transport, the Chief of Army Staff flagged off the combat training week geared towards building the personnel, just as Governor Godwin Obaseki laid the foundation stone of a 200-room hostel named after President Muhammadu Buhari. He was also at the palace of the Oba of Benin, Ewa II, where the Oba assured him of continued support.
I always pray that you will be celebrated heroes all the time. You get back whenever you are operations, any operations, staff, whatever it is, you come back to your families in one piece.
This is the first visit of the Chief of Army Staff to Edo State since his appointment as the 22nd Chief of Army Staff. In Benin, good luck, Enaini, NTA News.
The federal government has expressed its readiness to partner with the Magnus aircraft manufacturing industry in Hungary to establish an assembling plant and begin to manufacture in Nigeria from start to finish before the end of the Buhari's administration. Minister of Aviation Hadi Serika expressed the interest when he paid an inspection visit to the Magnus aircraft industry in Pogani, Hungary. A statement by Director of Public Affairs of Aviation Ministry, James Daudu, stated that the idea is for assembling plant to begin, while manufacturing will follow. Sirika emphasized that the local production of aircraft in the country will facilitate the growth of Nigeria as a regional aviation superpower, as it will also come with maintenance and repair facilities that will attract patronage from neighboring countries. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has declared Cross River State Governor Ben Ayadi the best humanitarian governor in Nigeria. The Federal Commissioner, Ajia Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, made a declaration in Abuja while presenting the Best Humanitarian Governors Award to Governor Ben Ayadi. She said Ayadi's humanitarian disposition toward refugees, migrants, and internally displaced persons was rare even across the African continent, adding that the Commission is proud to identify with his achievements. It is in recognition of these efforts to better the living conditions of these categories of persons, giving the hopeless, shelter for the homeless, and food for the hungry, that the Commission deemed it necessary to give Governor Ayadi the award as a means of encouragement for hard work. Responding, Governor Ayadi thanked the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons for finding him deserving of the honor, saying humanity is his religion, which he will continue to uphold. Governor Ayadi used the occasion to further draw the federal government's attention to the plight of the displaced people of Bakassi and other IDPs and call for more support toward ameliorating their suffering. The state governor, Ben Ayadi, has congratulated the Voice of Nigeria correspondent in Calabar, Mrs. Eme Ofiong, on her emergence as the new chairperson of the Correspondent Chapel of the State Chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ. In a statement by his special advisor, Media and Publicity, Christian Ita, Ayade described Mrs. Ofiong's emergence as fitting, deserving, and historic. The statement adds that rising to the leadership pinnacle of a chapel in a male-dominated profession is indeed heartwarming, a product of doggedness and hard work. The governor expressed optimism that the leadership of the chapel under the leadership of Mrs. Ofiong will usher in more robust, purposeful, and exhilarating relationship between the chapel and the governments. The governor charged the new chairperson and other newly elected officials of the chapel to ensure that members of the chapel at all times uphold the tenet of journalism in their reportage. And moving on, currently the atmosphere is that of joy, commendations, and total loyalty to the federal government by the people of Yobe State, especially residents of the Yobe Northern Senatorial District, after the approval of 6.2 billion naira by the Federal Executive Council for the construction of a new airport at Wakhakai, Karasuwa local government area. The residents are optimistic that the airport will bring about rapid transformation of the area as well as promote local and international trades. Adam Yusuf Tali tells us more.
The Wachakal airstrip is located more than 250 kilometers away from Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, and nearly 18 kilometers from Guru town, the headquarters of Guru local government area, a community famously known for rice, sesame and groundnut production in large commercial quantities in Yobe State. It is regarded as the oldest airstrip in Nigeria, constructed long ago before Nigeria's independence. After a long period of neglect, the federal government recently approved 6.2 billion naira for the construction of the airport as a measure towards strengthening the nation's security architecture in the fight against insurgents in the northeast region. Since the federal government's approval, the development has continued to attract reactions from the benefiting communities and stakeholders.
This is a welcome development. We pray to God to make the project a reality. We people in the Northeast are so happy because the airport can be used for reinforcement in the event of any attack by the insurgents.
Initially, the airstrip has only 1.5 kilometer by 3 kilometers. That is the perimeter. So the runway is only 1.5 kilometers initially, but now we have extended the runway to 2.1 kilometers with a perimeter of 3 kilometers by 5 kilometers, which we have demarcated alongside with our Minister of Land and Survey, and His Excellency has already issued them permit to go ahead and do the job.
Governor Mai Malabuni, while appreciating President Muhammadu Buhari for providing more dividends of democracy to the people, noted that in addition to its economic benefits, the airport is strategic for the movement of security personnel and equipment to combat terrorism.
Yobe State government has shown commitment for the actualization of the Wachakali airport, as compensation is being paid to farmers whose lands were collected for the project. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
You are watching news reaching you from the studio of NTA Caliber. You can also watch this newscast from our YouTube channel at YouTube/NTA Caliber. More news when we return. Don't go away. Stay with us.
As news breaks from the north, south, east, and west of Nigeria, we bring it to you. News from the length and breadth of Cross River State is sent to you via this channel.
With movers and shakers in various spheres of influence talking to us, we carve a niche and showcase our experience in broadcasting, because it's NTA Calabar before others.
You can't get this anywhere else. It's only here on NTA Calabar News, showing at these times: 3 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 p.m. every day. NTA Calabar News. Our experience counts.
Welcome back. As of 24th August 2021, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control has confirmed 655 new cases of coronavirus in the country. The cases were reported from 9 states, Lagos leading the team with 288 cases, followed by Rivers 188, Oyo 64, Akwa Ibom 31, and Ekiti 21. Others affected are Edo 17, Bayelsa 11, and Kaduna 7. 188,243 cases have been confirmed in the country so far. The Nigeria Immigration Service has handed over dozens of diazepam drugs to NAFDAC confiscated in Woroboki, Adamawa states, a border town between Nigeria and Cameroon. Belkisu Abubakar reports.
Diazepam, it is a medicinal drug used for insomnia, but being abused for intoxication, which is detrimental to the health of persons who abuse it and the larger society. That is why the Nigerian Immigration Service deemed it necessary to ensure, if not totally rid of such ugly act in Adamawa State, despite the porous nature of the borders with illegal aliens and products, but reduce it to a barest minimum. Though the perpetrators escaped to Cameroon Republic, the command vowed to ensure sanity on the land borders.
Our effort now is we put our officers on the alert to see that the culprits, those that are on this business, to be brought to the book.
Receiving the drugs, the Adamawa State Coordinator of National Agency for Food, Drug and Administration Control Pharmacist Gonzuk Bendimanyor said fighting against drug abuse and substandard product is a collective responsibility.
And that's why we have a lot of issues of security. And so this is a very big thing, because it has saved a lot of lives. Apart from saving people who have taken it ignorantly, it has saved people who would have been attacked on various reasons.
The two bodies agreed to work out modalities for ensuring only standard and legitimate product conveyed into the country. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
The Cross River State Police Command has continued to win in its battle to rid the state of criminal elements who want to breach the internal security order. The arrest and parade of 31 suspects for various offenses are evidences of the success story of the command in fighting crime. Maureen Leo Ajom was there.
The 31 suspects were arrested for various offenses ranging from kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, intra- and intercommunal crisis, as well as stealing of government property. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include 31 wraps of suspected Indian hemp and hard drugs, Motorola walkie-talkie, a live cartridge, 43 pieces of 16mm rods and 100mm rods, Mercedes-Benz 190, Lexus particulars, and ATM cards. Other exhibits include a locally made revolver gun, 6 locally made pistols, a vehicle containing 200 liters of sealed hydraulic oil, substance suspected to be cocaine, an Indian hemp, 600 bags of aluminium sulfate.
The command, while performing its statutory function, will not tolerate any unwholesome behavior from any quarters, whether individual or group of persons, who may want to jeopardize the peace of our dear state.
When interviewed, some of the suspects denied their involvement in the crime.
Well, I know that they said I'm a cultist, but I'm not a cultist. To God who creates me.
The command solicits the cooperation of the public to enable the police perform its statutory duties of protecting lives and property, while warning the residents against taking laws into their hands. Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
The maiden edition of the Nta Calabar Marathon has been concluded in Calabar with a call on youth to positively engage themselves by showcasing their God-given talents. Commissioner for Health Dr. Beta Idu made the call when she flagged off the maiden edition of Nta Calabar Marathon race in Calabar. Odia Leon reports.
On your marks!
Flagging of the 14-kilometer race, the state governor Ben Ayade, who was represented by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Beta Edu, says the state government is passionate about the discovery of talents as well as youth engagement to divert their attention from social vices, hence the introduction of the marathon race, which is also to boost the tourism drive of the state.
This gives us a lot of benefits. First, we're engaging young people to run, to have a marathon. It's also part of tourism. It's also part of maintaining a good health, well-being for people who live in Calabar, in Cross River State. Cross Riverians will be healthier with this. And then these young ones, their minds are gainfully engaged.
Hamad Jam Saudi emerged the overall winner of the maiden edition of Nta Calabar Marathon Race 2021 with a time of 37.30 seconds. He was closely followed by Ismail Sajo, who finished with a time of 37.50, while Samuel Solomon was placed third with a time of 41.46 seconds for the male category. For the women category, Angela Ona finished first with a time of 50.29 seconds. Gosmine Eten came second with a time of 54.18 seconds, while Veronica Suko finished third place with a time of 54.23 seconds, respectively.
I prepared for the race for about a month when I hear the competition we host. But I thank God I did well, I win.
I want to say a very big thank you to Professor Bernard Ayade for giving us this opportunity to showcase our talent. And I hope this continues annually.
I feel awesome. Marathon is the best.
The chairman, Cross River State Athletic Association, Mr. Paul Ebiala, expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the maiden edition of the Nta Calabar Marathon race and hope that in subsequent edition it will be better organized.
This is a welcome development. We have been looking forward to seeing things like this happen in the state. I want to commend the state and all those who are behind the organization of this event, hoping that it will not just be a one-off, it will be a yearly thing.
It is expected that this marathon competition will be an annual event for the state. In Calabar, Ode Aleño, NTA News.
With that report, we draw the curtain tonight. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the attack launched on Nigerian Defense Academy facility. Governor Ben Ayade has received Best Humanitarian Governor's Award from National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, as the Federal Commissioner Ajia Iman Suleiman Ibrahim made a declaration in Abuja. You also heard in the news that residents of Yobe State have expressed joy over the federal government's approval of airport construction in the states. That's it. Thanks for watching. Good night.